Hello guys, and welcome to another first impressions video. And I've been playing Pac-Man World Re-Pac for about 3-ish hours now, in 3 worlds, and so far, it's amazing. I'm really enjoying it. I knew I was gonna like it when I played Pac-Man World 2 before, and I just really like that game. That's one of my favorite 3D platformers of all time. So I kind of had a feeling that I was going to like this game, and I was right. It's just really fun overall. And while it does have some differences from Pac-Man World 2, I feel like the same core gameplay is there. And just in general, I'm glad that the Pac-Man World series is back. I know a lot of people have been waiting over 15 years for this series to return. I've been waiting almost 2 years ever since I played Pac-Man World 2 for the first time. But it's just great to see it back. It's really beneficial for the Pac-Man franchise overall, because we really haven't been getting anything that interesting over the past few years, and things have been pretty bleak with the Pac-Man franchise until Pac-Man Museum Plus and Pac-Man World Re-Pac released and everything. So things are going a lot better for the franchise now, and there's definitely more hope, and I really hope they do make a sequel for Pac-Man World. I hope they make Pac-Man World 4. That would be really nice. So I hope this game sells well, and it seems to be fairly popular. So yeah, I'm definitely hoping that happens. So just overall, some things that I like about this game, I haven't played the original, so I'm just going to be kind of referring to my thoughts on the game overall. So, like, just my thoughts on the gameplay and different things from the perspective of someone who's played Pac-Man World 2, but not the original. And just overall, the gameplay is great, the controls are smooth and everything, and the level design is really nice. I really like the level design in this game. Even though it's pretty linear, I still really like how it's designed. Like, there's a lot of collectibles and a lot of things to do in each level. And each level is pretty creative as well, as there's like a lot of different themes. I would even go as far as to say that it's more creative than Pac-Man World 2, because I feel like there's more level themes here, and more distinct level themes here. Though it is really nice in 2, I definitely like these a little more, because they're a little more distinct. Like space, pirates, ruins, different things like that. I think it looks really nice. And I really like how, like, the ghosts are dressed up on each level there, and there's enemies that kind of make sense for each of the areas. And just overall, the theming of the game is great, and I've just been enjoying it so far, and it's really nice. Just, and kind of going into that with presentation and everything, just the presentation in general of this game is pretty good. I would say that graphically, it looks pretty good. It's definitely not the best game in terms of, like, graphics and everything. I've definitely seen a lot better, but it looks pretty good overall. It's definitely a pretty good step up from the original, and it does look nice. I would say it looks a lot better than it is in the trailers. Like, when I first saw the trailers, I did think it looked a little cheap and generic, but when I went back and actually played the game, it didn't really feel like that at all. It actually felt like a high quality, nice game overall. I mean, it definitely doesn't feel as high quality as some other games in terms of presentation, but I do think it looks pretty nice. Like, I do like the textures and everything, and the style, and I do think it looks pretty faithful to how the original looks, but just in HD and everything. But it just looked pretty good overall. I really like how it looks and everything. And with performance, I think it runs fairly well on the Switch. Sure, there are some problems with frame rate here and there on the Switch, but I think it's more than playable. Like, I really haven't run into many issues with frame rate on the Switch. I think that's really only in specific cases or certain areas. Like, it only happened like a couple times so far. It really doesn't really happen that much. I think it runs fairly well on the Nintendo Switch. I can't really speak for the other versions because I've only played the Switch version, but for someone who's only played the Switch version, I think it runs fairly well. Like, it's a fairly good experience overall. Like, I really haven't run into many problems with it. And I think it looks pretty good on the Switch as well, compared to other third-party games. I think it looks nice and everything, and it definitely looks close to being on par with the other consoles. So I do think the Switch version is a fairly good version. But if you're worried about the frame rate and everything and want a smoother experience, I would recommend maybe getting the PC version or the Xbox Series X or PS5 version of the game. That might run better, even though it's not that much of a step up from the Switch version in terms of visuals, because the visuals in this game aren't too demanding. You'll likely get a smoother experience there, but the Switch version is still pretty good, I would say. If you want like a portable experience and everything, I still think the Switch version runs pretty well. But overall, this is a great game. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like I said, I've played about 3 hours of the game, 3 worlds so far, and I think it's amazing. I'm really enjoying this game, and I'm glad Pac-Man World is back. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.